Morning, everybody, or afternoon for some of you, judging by where I think some of you have signed up from. So many to see, so lovely to see so many of you here this morning. So, as Tori says, I'm going to talk all about Abbey College Manchester, and then I've got at least one, if not two or three students who are then gonna come in, answer a few questions, and just talk, give their own opinion, their own experiences of being at Abbey and living in Manchester. And as Tori says, if any of you've got any questions, then just pop them in the chat function, and we'll hopefully be able to get them answered at the end. So, Abbey College Manchester, my laptop appears not to be working, and I can't move slides. There we go. So, empowering students through personalised learning, small classes, supportive environment. We're a very small college. We are the smallest college of the group. Our sister colleges, Abbey College Cambridge and DLD College London, are much bigger, and we are right in the centre of Manchester. If you go on Google Maps, zoom in right on the centre of the city of Manchester, you will find Abbey College. We are there. We're a really welcoming community. And compared to more traditional schools, compared to more traditional colleges, compared to the other schools and colleges in the group, we foster a real sense of independence. We view ourselves very much as a stepping stone between school and university, and I'll kind of expand on that a little bit as we go along. So our motto, as you can see on that slide, as you can see on the wall behind me, is achieving success together. And it's the together bit which is really important because we are a small community, because we're a small and welcoming community. We get to know each individual student really well. We see them every day. They see us every day. We've got an open door policy. Students can come and talk to any member of staff they like. And it really is, it's the staff, the students, their parents, agents, guardians, all working together, triangulating to make sure that students are as successful as they can possibly be. So this year we've got about 170 students on roll, so we are very little, and everybody works together. So as it says there, 29 different nationalities this year. UK, Iran, Hong Kong, and China are our top four, and they've been our top four for the last few years in various different combinations. This year, for the first time in quite a long time, UK is our number one student body, which is really interesting. But everybody's all together. Everybody's all together in lessons. Everybody's together in tutor time, during free periods, in enrichment, in the boarding house. So there really is no difference between international students, UK students. Everybody just works really well together. And again, from a language point of view, from a learning English point of view, it's great for the international students who have English as an additional language. They get to work really closely with native speakers. The vast majority of the teachers are native speakers, and they get to kind of hang out and talk to the native speaker students as well, which is really good for their English. And as we say, we're very much a student-centered college. And we say we individualize timetables and we individualize support, and we can because we're so small, we can be very flexible, we can be very bespoke with what we offer. We're very proud of our pastoral system. We've got really good student voice. So we've got the heads of year, who each one of the heads of year look after a different year group. They're very approachable, and they put in an awful lot of time and support for the students because it's not easy being a long way from home. It's not easy studying somewhere different, maybe in language two, maybe three or four, and at times students need extra support. So we provide that in any way we possibly can. So we listen to our students, and there's academic support available. I've got a really really strong teaching group. Most teachers have been here for many years, some kind of 30 years plus. I've been here, this is my seventh year, and I'm still one of the newer members of staff. Because it's a really happy place to work. It's a really happy place to come and study, and people come here and they enjoy it. And we offer personalised UCAS support. Obviously, lots of the students who come and join us, their goal is to get to university here in the UK. So in year 12, for year 12 students, we have a class called Success in the sixth form. And it basically teaches students how to be successful doing A levels. So it's kind of like a study skills session. It looks at different ways of note taking. It looks at different ways of doing retrieval practice, of self-testing, and things like that, and offers a little bit of a break from the academic studies, but in a very supportive way. And then towards the end of year 12, that class then morphs into a UCAS class. And UCAS, for those of you who don't know, is the system through which students apply to university here in the UK. And again, so it's two of my assistant principals, Mark and Nigel, who run those UCAS classes, and students stay in them for as long as they need to. The deadline for competitive applications is the 15th of September, 15th of October, sorry, and the deadline for applications to all of the universities is the 15th of January. And students stay in the class until they finish, until they're ready. They're always encouraged to apply as soon as they're ready, as soon as they can. And we fully support that. Sometimes, instead of being in the class, students meet with Nigel, meet with Mark on a one-to-one basis to provide that extra layer of support, extra level of support, because it is a very confusing system. It is very different from university applications around the world. And we do it every year, so we kind of put time and effort into doing that to make sure the students are as successful as they can be in their in the university application process. Like I say, we've got students from 29, 30 different nationalities. An awful lot are working language two or three or four. So IELTS is a really important part of the timetable. It comes on the timetable just as the academic subjects do. So, lots of students they'll be doing maths, chemistry, physics, A level, maths, chemistry, biology, economics, business, maths, whatever it may be. And IELTS will also appear on the timetable in exactly the same way as the academic subjects do. We've got a fantastic, very experienced IELTS department here. And students are encouraged to sit their IELTS exam when they're ready. Ideally in year 13, sometimes in year 12. It's good to get the IELTS exam done earlier rather than wait until May, June time, which obviously is when the external A level exams are. The IELTS certificate is valid for 2 years to get into university. So if students are ready for it in September, do it in September. If it's January, it's January. But we very much encourage students to do their IELTS as soon as they're ready. And again, because we're small, we can put on bespoke classes, so it may be that students need a bit of extra support with writing, then they can do a pop-up writing class, or the same for speaking or listening. Again, because the classes are so small, because the teachers are so experienced and so used to teaching Abbey students and teaching international students, they know kind of what support is often needed. And are happy to do that. And again, that kind of bleeds into the pastoral support. So as I say, there's heads of year. Then every student goes into a form group based on their year group. And just like teaching classes, form groups are a maximum of 12, average of about 8. So students have various different people they can talk to. I've got a fantastic SENDCO, so she looks after students with any kind of additional need or educational needs. But she is very much part of the pastoral team as well. I've got a learning centre downstairs, which is really well resourced, learning centre manager. And again, Karen, learning centre manager, she is also part of the pastoral team. So there's lots and lots of different people students can talk to, lots and lots of different supports available. And then we also offer an extensive range of enrichment clubs. So every student has enrichment on their timetable on a Wednesday afternoon. And again, I think we talk about enrichment on a later slide. So the curriculum, so we're a British school, we are international, but we follow the UK curriculum, although we do have another qualification that runs alongside A levels. But as I said before, we very much see ourselves as a stepping stone between school and university. So students sometimes come to us for 1 year, sometimes two, three, four, five. And every student has a different journey. And that's absolutely fine because we're small, because we can do these bespoke courses, bespoke classes. It really doesn't matter if it's 1 year, it really doesn't matter if it's five. What matters is that the students are as successful as they can be and they get to where they want to be. So two different kind of strands here. On the left-hand side, we've got the traditional GCSE and or A level. So GCSEs, we do it over 1 year. So it's a very fast, essentially it's 2 terms. It's really fast, which is why students can only do a maximum of 6, 7 if the seventh is home language or a different language. Um, and sometimes students do come for 2 years, in which case what they tend to do is 3 or 4 in the first year, and then 3 or 4 more in the second year, and they end up with 6, 7, 8 really good GCSEs. It's a very fast course, obviously teaching over a year or 2 terms, as opposed to the traditional kind of 2 years. But the teachers who teach it are very experienced in teaching it, and the classes are small, and students get a lot of input from the teachers. All work is done through Teams, so everything is kind of stored electronically. All homework is done through Teams. So we've got various platforms as well that we use for maths, for GCSE maths, for A level maths, for languages, for science. And again, that further supports kind of student progress and teachers' ability to kind of track progress and check they're doing what they should be doing. This week is mock week for A-level students, so they're off timetable Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And this morning, I think it's business, physics, and psychology mock A-levels. Um, which is not great fun for those students, but a really good way for us to see where they're up to. And then A level, 2 years, which is the traditional, or 1 year. So students sometimes swap school or college between year 12 and year 13. They're not happy where they were, and they come and join us at year 13. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes students didn't do as well as they had hoped the first time round, or didn't get their predicted grades, or had to have some time out, physical health reasons, mental health reasons. Something happened and they're not happy, and so they come and do a year of resits. Students who do resits, they're treated exactly the same as the year 13s. They come into the year 13 classes, they get all the same support. We sometimes put on catch-up classes for those students, but again, it depends entirely on the students, depends entirely on their own personal situation, their reason for being with us, and their end goal, basically. Then alongside the more traditional, the kind of external courses, we also run the International Foundation Program, which was devised by Abbey College. And unlike A levels, which are a 2 year linear course, the International Foundation Program is a modular course. And instead of doing 3 subjects, you would do 2. So what that would look like would be in September, you would start again. I'll use the sciences as an example. You would start in September with Chemistry 1 and Biology 1. And then in December, so next week is IFP exam week, you would do the exams for those 2 modules. So you do Chemistry 1, Biology 1, and then Unit 1 is finished. We have the Christmas break, and then start again in January with Chemistry 2 and Biology 2. Okay, so those Unit 1 has been examined. You've started to build up your own percentage because it's a percentage-based course, not a grades-based course like GCSE and A levels. And the advantage of that is it's not a competition. Because when you're doing GCSEs or A levels, it's a competition. Everybody's competing for these grade 9s or these A stars, and the natural distribution curve works out the kind of grade boundaries each year. Whereas for IFP, it is purely and simply a percentage-based program. So everybody could theoretically end up with exactly the same percentage. We've been doing the course for many years, and it's accepted by all UK universities with the exception of G5. Some international universities will look at it. We always work with various international universities every year, but it's not designed for application to international universities. It's specifically designed for application to UK universities. And as I say, we've been doing it for years. We've got lots of really good partner universities who we work very closely with, and various partner universities will guarantee they will give an offer to our students from the IFP course. A typical offer will be somewhere between 60 and 75%, depending on the university, depending on the course, depending on the year. There's lots of variables. But it's a really good, so it's externally accredited, as it says there, by the NCFE, which is the Northern Council for Education, but it's internally set and marked. So alongside the 2 subjects, students also do what we call key skills. and they do maths key skills and university key skills, and the key skills portion of the course add up to 25%. So the six modular exams add up to 75%, and then the key skills are a further 25%. And the university key skills are basically key skills that you will need at university that nobody ever teaches you. So here we've devised this program to teach you those skills. So it's things like referencing, it's note making, it's presentation skills, it's essay writing, it's all of these things that you'll be expected to do at university. And if you listen to what the teachers ask you to do, if you listen to what the teachers tell you to do, if you complete the assignments well, then it basically is a guaranteed percentage. Unfortunately, not all students do. So we run various different courses. So the strands are there: engineering, biomedicine, business, humanities, and creative arts. And within those five main headings, I think the last count was 19 different subject combinations. We can basically offer almost any subject combination as long as I can timetable it. We can do it. Every year we have students doing crazy combinations. Last year we had a boy doing RS and physics, and he went on to do philosophy and physics at university. So in terms of academic support, then the whole time students are with us, we make sure we track and monitor their progress really closely, regular assessment, homework every week, obviously. And then we report home every half term. So essentially every 6 or 7 weeks, parents will get a report. Now, half term reports are very short and they just comment on effort and homework. And that gives students a comment, a word, which is always, mostly, sometimes, rarely, never. And based on those, we've then devised a system of certificates. So students get rewarded. If they get always, always, they get a gold certificate. If they get mostly always with the odds, sometimes they get a silver, and so it works its way down. And we've agreed with various students that if they get all gold, always, always throughout the whole year, they will get a special platinum certificate at the end of the year. And then end of term reports, as you can see there, target grade, working grade, improvement areas, next steps, effort, and homework. So they're really comprehensive, and the improvement areas and the next steps are the really developmental areas that we want students to be taking on board, having those conversations with their teachers, having those conversations with their parents, really reflecting on their own progress, on their own learning. And again, then coming to the teachers and saying, okay, I'm really struggling with this aspect of A-level economics. Can we sit down and talk about it? What resources can you give me? Where can I go away and do more research? So again, we are training the students to be very reflective, because as an adult you'll just be told things and have to do them. So we're in a very safe environment. We're leading the students towards being able to take on board feedback, respond to it, and act upon it, and improve their own outcomes. So as I said before, all students have a form tutor and they see their form tutor every day. Okay. So we have registration in the afternoon, and then on a Thursday morning, we have PSHE, which is personal, social, and health education, and it's statutory, but it's a legal requirement. There's various things we have to teach. So the form tutor is a really important person for the students. Again, they can talk to their form tutor about anything at any time, and they look after progress, attendance, well-being. And we register students in every lesson. I've got an attendance manager. The assistant heads of year also look after attendance, as does one of my assistant principals. And if students aren't here, they get a phone call. And if they ignore my attendance manager, the parents get a phone call, because we need to know where you are. And again, we are training and guiding students to be independent, but we're also doing it in a very safe, supportive environment. So as you can see there, list of various different supports, and different kind of extras students have success in sixth form: supervised study down at the Learning Centre, University Skills Programme, one-to-one University Application Support UK, so Oxbridge and Medicine Preparation Programme. So this year we have two Oxbridge interviews, which is absolutely fantastic. One for Oxford, one for Cambridge, for medicine and computer science. And we're really excited about those. We've also got various veterinary science and medicine interviews coming up for some of our students, which is really exciting. And again, there is medical preparation as one of the enrichments, also through the IFP. And the director of the science faculty and the head of biology will do practice interviews. Our computer science Cambridge potential student who's got his interview at Cambridge University, he's been given some interview practice by our sister college, Abbey College Cambridge, and that's the beauty of having three colleges in the group. We can share ideas, share resources, and share expertise. End of year review. So we do reviews with every student towards the end of the year. I mean that process often starts in term one. The heads of year are already talking to students about their progress, and for the year 12 students, talking about their program. Is A levels the right course for them? Should they be swapping to the IFP? And again, it's done in a very collaborative manner and a very supportive manner. And then every term, or the first two terms, we have ACE Day, which is Abbey College Evaluation Day, which is where we've essentially flipped Parents' Evening on its head. And instead of having the teachers talking at the parents about the students, we have the students talking to their own form tutor about their progress and about those conversations they're having in class, about the feedback they're having in class, and about how they are going to improve, what plan they've got for improvement, what their kind of revision timetable looks like, what their holiday timetable looks like. And again, it's that leading them towards being independent, leading them towards being reflective, but in a very safe environment. So obviously students are here to sit exams. So these are this year's results: 56% 97 GCSE, which was great, 54% A starters at A levels, and 70% average score at IFP. We're really proud of those results. And then kind of even more importantly in some ways than the results of the destinations, the university destinations. The IFP destinations this year were actually even better than the A-level destinations, and it was something like 60 or 70% of the IFP students got to Russell Group universities, including Manchester, which was really pleasing. So there we go, a list of universities that students have gone to over the last few years. As you can see, it's a very impressive list. Lots of students join us because they want to go to a northern university, so they want to go to Manchester or Liverpool or Leeds or York. And we do have good links with those. Obviously, we can't guarantee students will get into any of those, but every year students do. And we're really proud of this list. The Mark and Nigel, who look after UCAS, put in an awful lot of work with the students to make sure they're as successful as they can be. And again, it's also about sometimes being pragmatic. Okay, make a couple of applications to really good universities, and then let's look at some which are slightly lower in the rankings, but where you will be just as happy, just as successful, and get just as good a degree. Maybe in some cases a more appropriate degree, depending on the specific subject area that students are wanting to study. So the college is 35 years old now, and when it was first formed, it was basically a resit college, mainly for students who didn't get into medicine. And medicine has always remained a really important area for us. Last year, so out of those 11, 6 of them were last year, including the two to Aston and the one to Nottingham. So the destinations and the progression for medicine are really impressive, considering the size of college we are. The medical progression is really great, and this year we've got, I think it's three students who are hoping to move on to veterinary science, and a further 6 or 7 who are aiming for medicine, and a further 3 or 4 who are aiming for dentistry. And all of them are really, really good shouts. Obviously, we've got, as I said before, we've got the one student who's got his Oxford interview for medicine. I think that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. But irrespective of if he gets into Oxford or not, the students this year who are going for medicine, veterinary science, and dentistry should be really successful. Um, okay, so obviously, in terms of pastoral support, in terms of welfare, as I said before, lots of the students, they are a long way from home. They're thousands of miles away from home, away from friends, away from family. It might be the first time they've ever been away, and certainly for such an extended period of time. So it's really important that we put in the best possible pastoral support we can. And we do that through various means, like I say, with being small, with being friendly, with being approachable. We don't have a uniform. We don't have bells. We don't have, you don't have to call your teacher sir or miss. Everybody's on first name terms. I'm principal, but you call me Chris. Some students never get out of the habit of calling us sir and miss, and that's absolutely fine. Again, it's what makes you most comfortable. And lots of these things, they're designed just to remove what I call the clutter of, saying to students, do your top button up, do your tie up, tuck your shirt in, your skirt's the wrong length, your trousers aren't correct. Again, none of that matters. The most important thing is that the students are relaxed, the students are calm, the students are focused on what they need to focus on, and that's their education rather than worrying about other things. So again, we support the students in every possible way we can. We've got a fantastic well-being room up on the first floor, and it's a calm space. It was designed by two of my assistant principals, designed to make the students feel as calm in there as they possibly can. We have meetings in there, and again, sometimes if students need time out, there's weighted blankets, there's fiddle toys. It's a lovely environment. And we also got a common room where students can go when they've not got lessons. They can eat their lunch in there. And we've got the learning centre downstairs, which is a really focused area. As I say, I've got a fantastic learning centre manager who looks after that, and all students have supported study on their timetables. So 3 or 4 periods a fortnight where they have to go downstairs and study and learn. And again, Karen provides extra resources. She can provide extra support through this teaching staff for students and what they need. So then in terms of trips and events, various things go on throughout the year. Today is Winter Wonderland. So we've got a building just here, which is a building we use. It's called the Chapel. And they've got a really lovely chapel in the round, plus then a convention room next door. So we're going there this afternoon. We're taking it over this afternoon. There are various performances, so various students and staff are playing, singing, reading. And then we've got, I think there's karaoke, there's games, there's some food. So it'd be a real community event. We also have Culture Day, and that's coming up in February, where we celebrate everybody's culture. So students and staff are invited to wear national dress, come in some costume, or some dress, which means something to them. We then have a celebration of music, of dancing, of games, there's lots of stuff goes on. There's henna painting. The Lots of students cook amazing foods from their home countries. They get together in groups and cook it or bring it in individually. And it's a real celebration of the different cultures and the different students who make Abbey College really special and make it what it is. Year 13 graduation. Again, we get the whole of the year 13 together, all the staff, also over in the chapel. And it's a really nice way to end the year before the final exams start, celebrating student successes, celebrating their hopeful next steps to university. As I say, some of them will have been with us for 5 years. And Random Acts of Kindness Week. So just before Christmas, we had Random Acts of Kindness Week, which is what it says on the tin. People just do nice things to each other. They send little messages. People get certificates, and it's just a really nice way of celebrating everybody and making everybody feel really special, which is lovely. We've also launched a big charity event this year, and all of the Year 12 and 13 tutor groups competed to get their particular event chosen. And I think one of the maths teachers is having his moustache shaven off on Friday for charity, which is fabulous. It's a really good sport. There've been bake sales. There's been a games event. So lots of different things going on, and various trips go on throughout the year. So there was a trip 2 weeks ago to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. Last week, a trip went out to the Bank of England here in Manchester. And there's lots of different things going on. So there's some photos from the various different events which have gone on. Then in terms of enrichment and clubs, as I said before, all students have to have enrichment on their timetables on a Wednesday afternoon. Lots of different things, as it says there. So sports, so football, basketball, yoga, badminton, Lots of different things for students to do. And then in terms of other clubs, art, photography, knitting, debating. And again, if students want a specific club running, they just need to talk to a member of staff and hopefully we can support them and organise that for them. And I've just had two students turn up. So I think I've got about three more slides to go and then I'm going to pass it over to these two. So art, I talked a bit about kind of how good we are at medicine and science, but the arts, so creative arts are also really, really, really strong here. We offer A levels and GCSEs in art, in photography, and also in textiles. And so the list there is of winners just in 2025. So every year we have students whose work wins prizes. You can see there. So the top ones are the regional Northwest winners, and then underneath overall UK wide winners from the ISA. So to get first, I mean, to get first or second place is absolutely amazing. And the work that the art department put in for the students is absolutely fantastic. And there's some examples there of somewhere. But if you come and visit us, you will see on all the stairwells lots and lots of artwork that the students have produced. So sports. So Das, who's joined us, is going to talk about football because he's a footballer. So we run various sports programs alongside academics. So we do football, cycling, or tennis training, and they can be done alongside GCSE or A level or International Foundation program, the IFP. With A levels, it's a little bit difficult because students would be missing quite a lot of lessons, so it doesn't go particularly with the sports academies don't go particularly well with A levels, but with GCSEs it's fine, or with IFP it's absolutely fine. So students train on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so for football, and then on Fridays they quite often have games. I think the last game they won 5-4, was it
Yeah,
six
5-4.
5-4?
Well,
Fantastic.
6-5.
6-5. And they train 3 days a week with a professional coach who he's been coaching at City for about 12 years or something.
Yeah,
He
Man
coaches in the
City.
15s. And again, it doesn't, the sports don't impact on students' progress and they don't impact on their academics as far as possible. And again, what we often see is for non-native speakers, their English improves an awful lot because they're playing with other English students. They're being coached by a native speaker, so their English improves massively, and also it teaches that discipline, those ethics, and how to be a nice person, how to be a good teammate.
Yeah.
So boarding, unlike traditional kind of boarding schools and the other colleges in this group, boarding is not in this building. As I said before, this building is right in the centre of Manchester, and the boarding house called Clydesdale House. It's about a 7 minute walk over in the Northern Quarter in a really, really, really nice building, an old industrial building that was upgraded. I think it's about 6 years ago. We've been there. We've been in there for 5 years. It was done just before we moved in, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The students have all got their own single study bedrooms, three-quarter size bed. They've all got their own bathroom, study area. There are three different types of rooms. There's like a super deluxe, which is enormous, as deluxe or the normal room. And the rooms are designed in what we call clusters, and each cluster has got either 9 or 11 rooms, and each cluster has its own big common room, big kitchen. There's also a common room on the ground floor. There's four permanent living resident house parents. So the head of boarding lives there. His wife also lives there, and she's our day manager. So she kind of looks after things during the day, and if students are unwell, or if they need to go back. We've got a really good cook, and I think the boys are going to talk a little bit more about cooking and eating and feeding. And it's a very safe environment. They need a fob to get in through the main door, and then another one to get through the door at the end of the corridor, and then another one to get onto their cluster, and then a key for their own bedroom. Boys can't get into girls' wings, girls can't get into boys' wings. And it's an absolutely fantastic house. I've been in boarding for 15, 20 years, and it's probably the best boarding I've ever seen. It is very nice. We also have homestay hosts. So if students don't want to live in boarding, they want a more kind of authentic experience. We've got various hosts who live kind of all around Greater Manchester, who students can go and live with. We used to have a rule that under 16s had to go to homestays, but we've changed that now. So under 16s can board in Clydesdale House. And sometimes students get on so well with their host family, they go on holiday with them. They really do become part of the family. And we had two boys who lived with their host family for 4 years. So when they were old enough to move into Clydesdale House, they said, no, no, we love our host family just like we love our family. So we're going to stay living with them. And they stayed there for 4 years. And it was just a really, really, really lovely story. Manchester, the city. So it's a fantastic city. It's a really safe city. It's a friendly city. It never rains. Don't laugh. That wasn't a joke. And it's a real. It's just a great place to be. So it's a very young city. It's about 100,000 students in Greater Manchester, out of which there are about 41,000 international students. People from Manchester are known as Mancunians, and they're known as being really friendly. It's an affordable city, so it's much cheaper than living in the south. So London, Cambridge, Oxford. And it's really close to the countryside, and it's a great place to be. Huge international airport you can fly to anywhere in the world from. So that's about it from me. That kind of sums up what I've said and why Abbey College Manchester. Thank you. Meet our students. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. Fantastic. Does that work, Tori? Is that okay? Can you see me? Am I big again?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
worked.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, okie dokie. So we- let's start with.
Hello, my name is Das. I live in the boarding house at Clydesdale. And is there any questions you would
Oh
like
no,
to
so
ask?
I'm going to ask you some questions then,
Okay.
Das. So tell us how long you've been at Abbey College Manchester
This is my second year.
and what course are you studying?
I'm doing IFP, Business and Psychology.
Okay, why business and psychology?
Because my father's always been into business, and for you to be able to run a very successful business, you have to be able to understand human beings and how to manage people in different ways.
And are you learning that through psychology?
Yes, I am.
And you got exams next week?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Awesome. So what were you doing last year?
Last year I was doing A levels, but because I was doing the football program as well, I was missing some classes due to that, so I had to switch to IFP.
Fantastic. What do you like most about studying here?
It's the friendliness of the teachers. The teachers are always there to have your back no matter what. If you don't understand something, they will sit with you over and over. And even outside of lesson times, they will take time of their own free time in order to push you to be your best you can be.
And how many students are in the psychology class?
Six students,
And how
yes.
many are in the business class?
Eight.
And what key skills do you do?
Uni key skills and math key
And
skills.
how are they going?
They're going well. They're
Yeah.
going well, yes.
So you're from Nigeria,
Yes.
and how does Abbey College differ from the school you're at in Nigeria?
A lot less strict.
Okay.
In Nigeria, they have a
Is
very
that is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'll say it's a good thing because it gives you the freedom and independence to make mistakes on your own, and also learn from the mistakes that you make. Because here they don't, it's not that they don't, they help you in order when you make a mistake, they show you what you could have done in order to improve. They don't punish you on the mistake you've done.
Amazing. Amazing. What about UCAS
UCAS
support?
is helping me quite a lot. It's helping me with my personal statement. It's helping
Cool.
me pick good universities and look at other universities as well, depending on if my grades not meet the standard that
And
I.
where are you? What would your number one be?
My number one is Man Met,
Manchester Metropolitan. Okay,
yes,
why Mama?
because it has a very good business program.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. And what number two? It's not Mama.
Number two was Kiel.
Okay, cool. Cool. So just down the road. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're in boarding, Das.
Yes.
Tell me about boarding.
Boarding is really good. We all get along. Like sometimes we host FIFA tournaments where we all just go into one person, all the boys go into one wing and play FIFA together. We play ping pong tournaments, play Mortal Kombat tournaments. We all just kind of get along, and it's a very good environment to be in.
What about the food?
The food is good. The food is
Yeah,
quite good. As well as if you do not fancy the food or like the food that is being prepared, you also do have time to make your own food as well, as the kitchens are fully equipped with all everything you would need, and they do restock on materials such as eggs and the necessities that you need.
excellent. And do you ever talk to Ty, the
Yeah,
cook? And what's Ty like?
Thai is amazing.
Yeah.
So what we tend to do is almost every day we all of us like boys, girls, all of us just go to the kitchen. We all just sit with Thai and talk to Thai.
That's brilliant. So I think although she's not technically part of the pastoral team,
Yeah,
Ty is absolutely a really integral part of the pastoral
yeah,
process.
she
Because you
is.
guys go and you hang out with her when she's cooking,
Yeah,
just sit and talk to her.
yeah, we do.
Awesome. What about Manchester as a city?
Manchester's a very good city. My dad is originally from
Oh,
Manchester.
okay, cool.
So I've always been to Manchester. Even when I was in Nigeria, I'd come on holiday to Manchester. It's a very friendly city. There's always something to do, and especially living in the northern quarter, such a vibrant and lovely part of Manchester.
Cool.
You can walk out and you see a beautiful restaurant literally right in front of Clydesdale. there's always something to do in Manchester.
Fantastic. And obviously there's really good football.
There's really good
And
football.
there's Old Trafford, if you don't like really good football as well.
You mean Etihad, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's all right. So we'll come back to you if there's any
no
questions
problem.
specifically for you. That's really good.
Hello, I am Ali and I am from Iraq. Yeah,
Okay. So, and what course are you doing, Alihan?
IFB right now.
Yep. Which subjects in the IFP?
I do maths, advanced maths, business coursework,
Yep.
and key skills.
Okay. So why did you choose maths and Biz 46?
Okay, so maths, it's very important for me for the course that I want to do in the university, which is computer science.
Fantastic.
And I do business because it's coursework.
Yep.
I did it before. I have
Yep.
business background and I really like it. I
Brilliant.
like especially the coursework. He
Yep.
gave us assessment. We have time like 2 weeks for each assessment, and I can really show my knowledge, my experience, and apply them.
Fantastic. And that also means doing the coursework module, it means next week during exam week, you only have a maths exam.
Yeah,
Nice.
which you have less
That's
exams.
very
and
good. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can focus on maths and get higher grade,
Brilliant.
hopefully.
And where are you aiming for at university?
Same MMU in the first
Cool.
and Leeds in second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And what again, why MMU in Leeds?
Why? So MMU, they have a great course,
Mhm.
Leeds, compared with Manchester.
Yep.
And it's gave also opportunities to apply. It's like the same level that I want, is
Brilliant.
65%. And Leeds, they have also very professional course.
Fantastic. Very
Mm.
good. And so you say you're from Iraq. So you've been at Abbey for this is your second year as well?
Yeah, second year.
And again, same questions I asked. That's what's studying at Abbey like compared to school in Iraq.
There's no like comparison is much better. Like
In
the
what
staff
way?
are very helpful, very support, and the teacher way it's like very great.
So you have IELTS on your timetable.
Yeah, as
And
well.
how do you find the IELTS
It's
lessons?
improved me a lot.
How many years have you been speaking English for? Because your
Because
English
I
is
started
really
Abbey.
good. Have you-
Like
oh,
yeah, like just for 2 years. When I start Abbey and I start to take the IELTS course, it's like improved me a lot.
wow.
Yeah, in Iraq we don't talk English
Yeah,
that
yeah.
much, only Arabic.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
And have you thought about when you're going to sit your IELTS exam?
Yeah, once in February,
Cool.
just like to see where's my
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
Yeah, and if I get it, I get it.
Amazing.
And if not, I have 4 months
Yeah.
to improve it.
Very sensible.
Yeah.
Very sensible. And what
Mm.
IELTS level do you need for MMU?
6 at no less than 5.5 individually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what's your best skill? Obviously, your speaking is really good.
Thank you. Like now my level is 5.5
Amazing.
and I have to improve it 0.5%.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just carry on talking.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay. And so you're also living in boarding?
No.
No.
I
Okay.
live
Go on
with
in.
my family.
Your family lives here.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you find out? How did you hear about Abbey College Manchester then?
One of my dad colleagues
Uh-huh.
at the work, he told us about Abbey, and from the first time I came, I met Ian,
Yeah.
and he talked about the college, and I very like it. I
Brilliant.
very like it.
Yeah, you like it very much. Amazing.
Mm.
Cool. And what is it that you like about it?
And the course
Yep.
and the teaching away, the subjects here, much like more options, and my age. Yeah, like because I applied for other colleges,
Mhm.
but they rejected because
Because you're
my
too
age.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old
And
are you?
now I am 18.
You're 18. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Brilliant. And so you live in Manchester with your family, and what do you think of living in Manchester?
very nice city. A lot of raining. But I like
It's
it.
sunny today.
Yeah, like when you see the sunshine, it's a great day. Small city,
Yeah.
you can go around
Yeah.
it walking
Yeah.
1 hour, you can go everywhere. I like walking more than
Cool.
transport, but there's also trams everywhere, bus everywhere, and very easy transport, great restaurants everywhere. And I like the tall buildings, the towers.
You like the what?
I like the towers.
Ah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
buildings.
big tower blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic, boys. That's been really useful. You've both spoken extremely well. Again, none of this was planned. Alejan's only just found out he was going to come down and talk to us, so Dash has only just asked him. So it's really kind
Yeah.
of him to come down. So Tori, I think we're going to hand back to you and see if there's any questions from anybody who's listening to us.
We've had a couple of really good questions come in. So,
Amazing.
first question, which I think the boys have touched on this a little bit, but what made you choose Manchester, the way you wanted to come and study?
Mm, there's a lot of opportunities to study. Great colleges like Abbey, and a lot of different course like IFB, A level, GCSE if you didn't done it, and yeah.
What made me pick Manchester was how student friendly it is. Manchester is one of the biggest student environments in the UK, and there's always student discounts wherever you go in Manchester. There's always going to be something for students to do. Like, for example, on Market Street in Manchester, which is in the center of Manchester, there's always student rallies going on, and then people setting up stalls, giving you advice on universities and colleges, and also it's just a very, very good student environment.
It's safe, isn't it? It's
It's also a
safe, it's
safe
friendly, it's a
environment, yeah.
young
Yeah.
city, it's kind of geared around
Students,
students.
yeah,
Probably more university students, but you guys, you've got that independence, haven't you, to
yeah,
be a lot of the time to be like university students because you're both 18. Or
yeah.
you're,
No, I'm 17.
you're not
Yeah, I'm
quite 18.
17.
But again, you can kind of make the most of living somewhere really cool and doing all this fun stuff.
Yeah. Like, for example, in Manchester, they have the chill factor near the Trafford Centre,
Yeah.
as well as if you don't like snowboarding, there's also football pitches, there's basketball courts, there's a multitude of sports that you can play in Manchester, as well as there's always an activity that you can do. There's never a day where you're bored.
No. Ice skating, a lot of
Ice
museums
skating,
if you
yeah.
like science and history.
Yeah, the art galleries and museums are really
Yeah.
good, and as I said, we're really close to the countryside.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
go up into the hills, go to the seaside, go across to Liverpool.
Hollingworth Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's loads going on.
Yeah, that's great. And then another really good question here is, how does studying abroad in Manchester, how has it changed you as a person?
So it teach me to be more independent. I can take the responsibility of myself. Um,
I mean, I guess when you were in Iraq,
mm,
you said you were always speaking Arabic. You were just with students from Iraq.
Yeah.
You never met
abroad students and
somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or I mean, so here there are other Iraqis, there's Iranians,
Yeah.
there's Saudis, there's Nigerians, there's English, there's Chinese, etc., etc. So I guess that's something which was completely new to you, and
It led me to know more things about the other cultures, other countries. It improved my language, like English, yeah. And I know, it make new
Friends.
friendship.
friends, yeah.
For me, studying abroad, well, although my family being from Manchester, studying in a college which has a lot of international students has helped me understand different cultures. It has helped me improve my communication skills with people. It's also helped me understand how to approach different people based off different situations. As the same way you may act with one person is in the same way you might act with the same person in the exact same situation. So it's just improved me all around as a person.
And also, I mean, I think you're both right as well. You're both doing the IFP course,
Yeah.
which we would always recommend it for international students.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you both got your heart set on going to MMU, so staying in Manchester, which is great. And again, doing the IFP course, it's the modular, so it's a percentage based program. You're doing your coursework, so there's a lot less pressure, isn't there, than if you were doing A levels or your qualifications in Iraq or in Nigeria.
Okay, that's great. One other question I've got for you is about weekends, and it's especially yourself, Das, as well, because I know you live in the boarding house. In terms of how does your kind of weekend look like? What do you sort of do over the weekends when you're not in college?
So over the weekend you can do the weekend is your free time. You can choose to do it in any way you want. I sometimes go to the library to study with my friends as a group, or sometimes we arrange football matches, or sometimes I go home to my family during the weekend as well. So there's always, like I said, Manchester is a city full of activities. You're always gonna find something to do in the weekend. And if you do not want to do an activity and you'd want to study, you're near the library as well, as the boarding house is only a 10-minute walk from the library, as well as it being only being a 10-minute walk from different museums. So there's always something to do. You're never just sat there bored.
And there's sometimes trips now to
Yeah,
go
there's trips
to
as well.
the zoo
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Last year we went to Chester Zoo, then we went to the aquarium as well.
Yeah.
So, and then we went to the museum. So there's always
And lots of the students do go to the football, don't they? Go to the Etihad, they go to Old Trafford, and watch football as well as playing it. So
we tend to watch football quite a lot as a group. I think we went to the Man City game last weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's always something good to do. And we all collectively don't like Liverpool, so
Okay. Suggest you don't tell Mark Cronin that. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much indeed. And that's really interesting actually hearing you both talk about your experiences, and that's really, really helpful to attendees that are here today. So that's fantastic. I haven't had any other questions come in. And actually we are sort of approaching the sort of the hour that we allocated for the session as well. So at this stage, if anyone has any final questions, if they want to kind of quickly put them in. No, I've got nothing coming through. So at that stage, then I will say thank you very much indeed for your time this
for having
morning.
us.
It's been really appreciated, and good luck with your exams next week.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you very
Good luck,
much.
boys.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Tori, and thanks everybody for listening. I hope it's been useful. And if you do think of any questions, then just drop any one of us a line, and we're more than happy to help you with them.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much
Cool.
indeed.
Yes, Tori.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.